Am I the asshole? For having a poster that says we reserve the right to refuse service to the British. I was a teacher's assistant for an American history teacher my senior year of high schooler. She had this poster that said we reserve the right to refuse service to the British. The last part is in real big letters, instead of saying anyone. And it had a bunch of floating heads kinda like the Marvel posters, of random people from American Revolutionary history, and the bottom was a Boston Tea Party scene, with a faded American flag design in the background. She retired the year I graduated and I was helping her pack, and I asked her about the poster. She said a student made it for a project years ago and she found it so funny she had it professionally printed. She asked if I wanted and I said sure, and it's in my room now, with a ton of other posters. Some family friends came over recently and we went in my room, and this cousin 16F, her family's real rich, has flown to Europe a lot and she's obsessed with European culture. She asked about it. I said a history teacher gave it to me, isn't it hilarious? She said, isn't it discriminatory? I said I don't think so, I find it funny. She said what's so funny about it? I said IDK, just the fact it has all the floating heads and it says the British in real big letters is kinda funny. She asked me what's so funny about racism. I said it's not racist, it's just an American history joke. She said yeah, about discriminating against British people. I said it's literally just a joke bro, calm down, in an angry tone, and my voice was kinda raised. She said, fine, have your racist poster. I said bro, it's not that deep, oh my god, in an annoyed tone. And she was mad for the rest of the time they were there, and my mom thinks I should apologize. Am I the asshole? As a British person I can tell you it just sounds like a silly fun poster made by an American child, and doesn't offend me in any way. Not the asshole. It's not really that much different to the Happy Treason Day, ungrateful colonials we Brits post on the 4th of July. Just a daft joke. Not the asshole. Well, I don't believe British is considered a race by pretty much anyone. So, it's not racist. Yes, it is discriminatory, I suppose. But I'm sure all truly impacted by this will be able to get over it. It's funny, in a history teacher's sense of the word. Not the asshole. Your friend sounds a bit like someone who looks for things to be mad about. No, you don't need to apologize. Not the asshole. British isn't a race. And it's a history joke. And it's not too soon for the joke. People who don't understand race or history won't get it though. Not the asshole. It's pretty clearly an American Revolution themed poster, aka a poster about a time where the Americans kicked out the British. They said British not welcome. It's not racist but a fun way of phrasing an event in history. Not the asshole. It's definitely not racist. The humor value depends on the beholder. Hanging in your room, it's also not discriminatory. I think the real humor value would be if you somehow ended up with a British GF, took her into your room, and ended up shooting yourself in the foot when she saw the poster and walked out. Well, I'd find it funny. It's in your own room and it's a history-related joke, so not the asshole. If you owned a business and put this on the front door, it would be discriminatory. Brit here not offended. It just comes across as a bit of banter IMO. Like when we say you guys are running your country so badly we should probably come and take over again. Not the asshole. Your cousin sounds like the sort of humorless, insufferable tourists the Europeans despise. I ran it by my wife who's British, she thought it was hilarious. Not the asshole. Some people are just too sensitive. There will always be someone who's offended about something, don't worry about it. Not the asshole. The British aren't a race. If you don't want to serve them tea, you don't have to. Not the asshole. I'm British and it sounds fucking hilarious. How would I go about getting one? Not the asshole. British is not a race, it's in your room, and with the assumption that you're American there's no way she could be so dense to not understand the joke. You're a horrid Bigfoot and should be more considerate of us oppressed Brits, as most Brits would laugh or joke in response. We love self-degrading humor and historical jokes. Honestly, it ticks out boxes. We regularly joke about the Germans, the French, US, Australia, etc. I'm more offended somebody thinks we'd be offended. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. I'm British and find this very funny. I can assure you not a single British person gives a fuck. Nah, this is just the flip side of us staying happy treason day or being happy you lot left, given you still make your tea like it's the Boston Tea Party all over again, but every day. Not the asshole. Your poor little lost friend TA. Being British isn't a race, it is a nationality. But her word and thought police training only provide her with a limited set of options for controlling your expression, so she is trying to shove the proverbial square peg into a round hole. That is the problem with indoctrination and rote learning. It does not respond well to a new situation. Not the asshole. Also not a racist poster, as it very clearly has a historical context around the American Revolution. Your cousin is falling into the woke trap of everything I don't like is racist, which unfortunately makes it difficult to differentiate between things that really are racist and things like this. That said, I don't know if funny would be the word I use to describe it though. It's political humor, which tends to be more clever and poignant. I don't understand this so much it kinda hurts. I'm British, this would be funny to me. However, ESH because of how you both dealt with the issue. Your cousin for taking issue on behalf of another culture, and you for losing your rag with her. These are events that happened centuries ago between people who are long dead. I'm an American and I get how people from countries formerly under British rule can find it funny. I once saw a meme on 4th of July with Queen Elizabeth with a stern look saying Happy Treason Day peasants and thought it was hilarious. Not the asshole. It was a joke. Not the asshole. The poster is a funny joke about the American Revolution. Just a simple joke. Zero to do with racism. Ignore your friend. She's spent too much time on social media accounts of ignorant people. Call her a colonizer until she cries. Not the asshole. This is a 16-year-old getting off on their perceived opportunity to have a soapbox to get on. Ignore it, and hope they one day grow up enough to cringe in memory of this behavior. Honestly, I would have responded with I am glad you learned a new vocab word, but you're using it wrong. I also never pay heed to someone getting off on using the imaginary offense of an imaginary people. If someone who is actually British shows up and is actually offended, that is a conversation I will have. But I give the average Brit more credit than that. I'm British, not offended at all. But change British to say Indian or African. Then what happens? I think the double standard is more offensive than the actual poster personally. I'm a Brit. A lot of people are implying you can't be racist to Brits. That's obviously nonsense. But I wouldn't be offended by the poster. It's a bit of light-hearted fun. I'd have far more of an issue with your cousin who is presuming to take offense on behalf of British people because she's done some holidays in Europe. As a British person, I can confirm we would laugh at this and then immediately colonize your land, steal all your resources and build railways. As a Brit who lived in the USA for 10 years, there were many occasions people said stupid shit to me because of my accent. 3 times I experienced outright xenophobia, including being spat on, threatened and having my accent caricatured in front of a group of colleagues during diversity and inclusion training at work. And it was the trainer who did it. I can't say any of it scarred me, but it was real, it happened, and the people who dissed it let themselves down. You're the asshole. You're the asshole for saying bro that many times. British derogatory. I'm British. It's not a race. There's loads of memes about the British that are far worse than this and genuinely sum up the British response as finding it funny we were the most dominant empire on earth, so of course plenty of places had beef with us. The bit your cousin is missing is context. If you have nothing against the British, would treat us fairly etc., then we're happy. It's not the same as a poster about a group that actually is mistreated or bullied regularly for who they are. If she actually knew European culture, she'd know we constantly make fun of the other countries. Like squabbling singlings. Perfectly valid poster.